Hello, welcome to Express News. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj and we give you top 100 news of the day. So let's get started. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to Italian PM Giorgia Meloni over call on Wednesday. Both leaders reaffirmed deepening India-Italy strategic partnership, aiming to end the Ukraine conflict and advance India-EU trade deal and IMCCC connectivity. Earlier in a post on X, PM Modi said that he is confident that India-US trade negotiations will pave the way for unlocking the limitless potential of the partnership. He added both teams are working to conclude discussions at the earliest. Just hours after Prime Minister Modi posted on X, US President Donald Trump reposted the comments made by PM Modi on his social media platform Truth Social. Earlier on social media platform Truth Social, Trump had said that India and the US will continue negotiations to address the trade barriers. Nepal army deployed troops in Kathmandu amid indefinite curfew after deadly anti-graft protests forced Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's resignation following days of violent anti-government unrest. The worst upheaval in decades in Nepal was sparked by a social media ban unveiled last week, but rolled back after 19 persons died on Monday as police fired tear gas and rubber bullets to control crowds. No protests were reported in the Nepali capital, but about 26 people trying to create trouble on the outskirts of Kathmandu have already been taken into custody. Nepal army assumed security duties amid violent protests in Kathmandu and nationwide. Appeals for public tips on miscreants damaging property, historical sites and cultural landmarks. The army had imposed prohibitory order till 5 p.m. today amid vandalism. The curfew will be followed until 6 a.m. on Thursday to maintain order and stability. PM Modi chaired a security meet on Nepal's turmoil after protests toppled government, killing 19. He called the violence heart-rending and urged peace, stressing that Nepal's stability is vital for India. India has intensified security at the Nepal border. Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand districts are on high alert with extra forces deployed, intelligence watch and intensified patrolling on highways, village tracks and forest routes amid unrest. In a latest update, flight operations have resumed for now in Nepal as the Kathmandu airport has reopened a day after it was closed following the protests in the country. Mass prison breaks have also hit Nepal. More than 700 prisoners have fled Bharatpur after setting the prison on fire. 80 juveniles have also escaped Banke post the clash, killing 5 people. Jharkhand Anti-Terrorism Squad and Delhi Police Special Cell arrested suspected ISIS terrorist Asahad Danish in Jharkhand's Ranchi. Various chemicals were seized along with weapons. Nationwide raids hit more than 12 sites in the country and another suspect had been nabbed in Palamu's Hossainabad. The Indian Armed Forces contingent comprising 65 personnel are participating in the multilateral joint military exercise Zapad 2025 with Russian forces that began today. Zapad exercise will be held at the Molino training ground in Russia's Nizhny, with a contingent comprising 57 Indian Army personnel, 7 IAF personnel and 1 from the Indian Navy. Chief Economic Advisor V. Anantha Nageshwaran addressed All India Management Association's Delhi event, highlighting India's unique 7-8% G20 growth from fiscal year 21-22 to fiscal year 24-25, crediting post-COVID resilience and yearly Q2 fiscal year 2026 momentum. CEA Nageshwaran praised 11 years of reforms like GST, IBC and infrastructure boosts, enabling India's economy to withstand geopolitical shocks without pursuing a USD alternative. Chief Economic Advisor announced 4.4% deficit target and Banks Board Bureau credit upgrade, with the first quarter of FY26 GDP at 7.8%, focusing on small and medium enterprises, formalization and bank capitalization. And in the energy sector, India has achieved 50% non-fossil power capacity milestone with 242.8 gigawatt out of 484.8 gigawatt total, tripling from 80 gigawatt in 2015, surpassing the 2030 Paris target 5 years early, now eyeing 500 gigawatt by 2030. Mauritius PM Dr. Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam attended the Mauritius-India Business Conclave in Mumbai on Wednesday. He stressed on deepening ties with India amid global uncertainties, highlighting an eternal bond and upcoming agreements. In business, the Indian equity indices ended on a strong note with Nifty at 24,950 on Wednesday. While Sensex was over 80,000 at close, ending at 81,425.15, up by 323.83 points. The Indian rupee ended flat at 88.1 per US dollar on Wednesday. Gold prices retreated from record levels to trade below the rupees 1.09 lakh mark per 10 grams in the domestic futures market on Wednesday. Silver prices on Wednesday continued their upward trend by jumping rupees 671 to over 1,25,000 rupees per kilogram in domestic futures market. Crude oil prices rose rupees 49 to rupees 5,593 per barrel on Wednesday following an Israeli strike in Qatar targeting Hamas leaders. Asian markets extended gains on Wednesday with Tokyo and Seoul emulating a record day on Wall Street. European shares climbed on Wednesday, led by retailers after Spanish fast fashion giant Inditex reported its second quarter results. Danish drug maker Novo Nordisk has slashed 9,000 jobs globally, 11% of staff, amid fierce competition for obesity drugs Ozempic and Wegovy, saving $1.3 billion. Novo Nordisk has also axed 5,000 local jobs and massive 9,000 worker cutback, battling rivals in anti-obesity market for key treatments. In other global updates, Russia launched largest airstrike on Ukraine, firing over 800 drones and missiles, striking Kyiv's cabinet building, killing 4, including an infant, injuring 44 amid escalating strikes. Polish PM Tusk reported massive Russian drone incursion into Polish airspace during strikes. He added that Poland had invoked the Western Defense Alliance's Article 4 for urgent talks post-drone strikes. Belarus claimed it downed drones over its airspace overnight, adding that it informed Poland after Warsaw intercepted several Russian UAVs en route to targets. Russia ramped up fiber optic drone production to 50,000 monthly in 2025, doubling output, enabling precise strikes on Ukrainian armor, logistics, evading EW defenses effectively in the conflict. While Ukraine claims it regained 22 square miles in Donetsk last month, 5x more than losses, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Syrskyi, said forces repelled Russians from Pokrovsk, holding key sites despite summer offensive failure. Amid this, the Kremlin has declined to comment on Poland's statement that it had shot down Russian drones in Polish airspace, saying this was a matter for the Defense Ministry. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged for a common air defense system with Kyiv's European allies as he accuses Russia of targeting neighboring Poland. The European Union Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said Russian drones violated Polish airspace on Wednesday, calling the attack reckless. Poland summoned Russian Shah d'Affaires Andrei Ordash at noon amid the drone row. In a separate statement, the EU chief Ursula von der Leyen defended the July 2025 US trade deal in Strasbourg, averting 30% tariffs for 15% in fact on EU exports amid $1.7 trillion bilateral trade, warning of chaos and full war. Qatari Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani has issued a strong warning to Israel following a missile strike on Doha on Tuesday. calling the incident a clear violation of Qatar's sovereignty and an act of regional destabilization. The Qatar PM said Qatar reserved the right to respond to this blatant attack. Reaffirming his commitment to mediating peace, Al Thani said mediation efforts are part of the Qatari identity and nothing would deter its role in that regard. Multiple explosions rocked Doha on Tuesday in what Israel has confirmed was a targeted airstrike against senior Hamas leaders. The Israel Defense Forces and the Shin Bet security agency claimed responsibility for it, marking the first known Israeli strike on Qatari soil. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel takes full responsibility for these strikes, calling it an independent military action. Sébastien Lecornu, the loyalist picked by President Emmanuel Macron to be France's next Prime Minister in 2 years, took office on day of sprawling anti-government protests on Wednesday. France's new Prime Minister on Wednesday promised a profound break with the past and that his new government will need to be creative and talk with opposition parties, along with a change in policies as well. Students in Paris have taken to the streets to take part in Let's Block Everything protests. They are protesting against Macron's choice of new Prime Minister. And we are heading for a short break. We will be back with the Express News in just a bit. Stay tuned to DD India.
We lock our doors, put up fences, all to protect our house. But what about the home that we all share? Today's episode is to remind us that preservation extends beyond humans.
We tell our buyers that the coffee they're buying or they're consuming is contributing or is preserving the habitat for these many species of birds and animals.
We are promoting ecotourism only. We call volunteers to work on the field so that they can learn from the village.
GDSI is a ranking system created by an association to make its location sustainable in terms of tourism and event management.
We use the feces as manure for our crops. That's how integrated farming becomes very profitable.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Let's resume. Moving on to weather updates now. The Yamuna floodwaters have begun to recede, easing days of waterlogging in Delhi. While the swollen Ganga River has inundated parts of Uttar Pradesh's Kanpur after heavy rains. Schools in Jammu resumed on Wednesday as flood situation improves days after precautionary closures. India Meteorological Department predicts rainfall for Gujarat over the coming days with warnings of very heavy shower in several districts. Weather Office in South India's Andhra Pradesh predicts heavy rains and thunderstorms with lightning till September 12th. The IMD office in Shimla has predicted rainfall for Himachal Pradesh till September 14. However, no heavy rain alert has been issued in the coming few days. Floods on Indonesia's holiday island of Bali have killed at least 6 people this week and blocked off major roads in the capital. Japan Weather Bureau says 60% chance La Nina will not emerge. Normal winter expected. China is currently enduring its hottest summer since 1961 with the north facing longest rainy spell in decades. Meanwhile, severe drought continues to affect one of Turkey's most significant agricultural regions, Thars, and particularly Adrian. American tech giant Apple unveiled the iPhone 17 and the iPhone 17 Air on Tuesday at the Steve Jobs Theater in Cupertino. The iPhone 17 Air is Apple's thinnest smartphone, marking a push to refresh its brand. Apple also unveiled the AirPods Pro 3 and Apple Watch Series 11. The AirPods offer better noise cancellation and translation, while the watch adds 5G, longer battery and heart monitoring. The David Bowie Centre opens at London's V&A East on September 13, featuring 90,000 archive items from the visionary rock star. Texas shop staff rejoiced after selling one of the winning Powerball tickets to winners in Missouri, and Texas shared a $1.8 billion jackpot. On Wednesday, Australia approved its first vaccine to protect koalas against chlamydia, aiming to halt the deadly disease threatening the endangered marsupials. South African coach Kopano Mokele is gaining 30 kilograms in 120 days to better understand clients' weight struggles, sharing his journey on the TikTok app to highlight the challenges of obesity. Top Japanese startup Sakana AI is trying to develop a nature-inspired artificial intelligence tech, what it calls collective intelligence, by merging existing and new systems. Turkish visually impaired musician Mustafa Kürgen has been entertaining and making a living for past 50 years by playing the darbuka and singing traditional folk songs. A 50-year-old zookeeper was mauled to death by 3 lions at a Bangkok zoo on Wednesday after exiting a vehicle in the enclosure. British archaeologist Douglas Baird, who has dedicated 3 decades to unearthing the past, continues to shed light on early human history at the Mendik Tape archaeological site in Shan el-Urfa. Japan's Emperor Naruhito harvested rice at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo, continuing a tradition started by Emperor Showa in 1927. The rice planted in May will be used in ceremonies. Japan's largest convenience store chain 7-Eleven is trailing robots at a Tokyo store to ease labor shortages. Robots restock shelves, clean and provide remote customer support. In Western Australia, scientists and farmers are trialling new truffle species to extend the harvest beyond winter, aiming to drought-proof the industry and meet rising demand. The Shanxingdui Museum in Sichuan hosted an exhibition of archaeological artifacts from Greece, offering a vivid glimpse into ancient Greek civilization. Blending song, dance and centuries-old melodies, Dolan Mukham, a vibrant Uyghur art form from Xinjiang, is making a powerful comeback, reigniting cultural pride and boosting local tourism. Prince William visits Spiral Skills in Lambeth, London on Tuesday. The youth charity is backed by his Homewards Fund launched in 2023. Prince Harry attended the Well Child Awards 2025 in London on Monday. He also met Declan Bitmaid, winner of the Inspirational Young Person Award. Following her MTV Video Music Awards 2025 wins, Lady Gaga announces second North American leg of her Mayhem Ball tour starting Valentine's Day 2026. On the occasion of actor Ramesh Arvind's birthday, team of upcoming movie Daji unveiled the teaser of Kannada film. Director Chandok Mondetti's upcoming epic devotional 3D animation film titled Vayu Putra is set to release for Dussehra 2026. Netflix has announced its new animated series Kurukshetra, promising a visually immersive and emotionally rich retelling of the Mahabharata. Actors Kajal and Twinkle Khanna's new show Too Much with Kajal and Twinkle is set to premiere on September 25 on streaming platform. The trailer of Jolly LLB 3 is out, showcasing an explosive courtroom battle between Akshay Kumar and Arshad Warsi. Actor Alia Bhatt celebrates 3 years of her movie Brahmastra by sharing photos and fan artworks on Instagram. Tollywood director Sasi's eagerly awaited upcoming film starring actor and music director Vijay Antony has been officially titled Noru Sami. In sports, India will begin their Asia Cup campaign against hosts United Arab Emirates in Dubai on Wednesday. India is a dominant team in tournament, winning 8 Asia Cup titles. Afghanistan coach Jonathan Trott demanded improvement from his team after an unsteady batting performance in the Asia Cup victory against Hong Kong in Abu Dhabi. Sophie Devine will lead the 15-member New Zealand squad for the Women's One-Day World Cup later this year. Australian Test captain Pat Cummins has set himself a tentative 4 to 6 weeks to recover from a bone injury and start bowling. India's PV Sindhu crashed out of the Hong Kong Open after losing to Line Christophersen of Denmark on Wednesday. India's Lakshya Sen defeated Wang Zhu-Wei to advance into the second round of Hong Kong Open. India's HS Pranoy began his Hong Kong Open campaign with straight games win against Lu Guangzhou of China. World Chess champion D. Gukesh suffered his second straight defeat at the FIDE Grand Swiss tournament in Uzbekistan after losing to Greece's Nicolas Theodorou. Alex de Minaur says his ultimate tennis goal is to win the Davis Cup as they host Belgium this weekend in a second round qualifier at Sydney. Bolivia shocked Brazil 1-0 to secure a spot in the intercontinental playoffs for the next year's World Cup. Bolivia's Miguel Terceros converted a penalty in first half stoppage time to secure the win over 5 times World Cup winners Brazil in La Paz. England took a huge step towards automatic qualification for the World Cup as they crushed Serbia 5-0 in the qualifier. Portugal earned a 3-2 victory against Hungary in their World Cup qualifier with João Cancelo scoring the late winner to put the team at the top of Group F. Tickets for the 2026 World Cup to go on sale on Wednesday with dynamic pricing. Well, that's it in this edition of Express News. News and updates will continue on DD India. You stay tuned. Namaskar.